On our podcast show this week, Winston bought a phone.
I got a new toy.
An S25 series phone has landed at our podcast show, and Winston is going to tell us everything about it because I'm going to pick at him with some questions about why he did what he did.
Yeah, I haven't actually discovered all the actual features yet. I'm still playing around with it, but for currently what I need it for, it is worked perfectly.
Well, that's his problem because I'm still going to ask him questions. We're also going to cover a fiasco in Canada with the build out of our mobile network. Some controversy has happened.
Okay.
And OpenAI is set to reinvent the smartphone as we know it. But first up, let's talk about Winston's new phone.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, we covered the S25 series launch, which included the S25, S25 Plus, S25 Ultra, and the S25 Edge, which no one was able to touch. But the S25 Edge is pushing the envelope in terms of the thinness of smartphones. Will we have a bend gate like we did with the iPhones earlier back when people were bending their phones and breaking their screens? We'll have to see. But hopefully this is something that Samsung has eliminated in their S25 Edge coming soon. It's probably sometime in the spring or summer. Now, when it comes to the regular phones that have just come out, there are obviously some offers, and one of them enticed Winston to buy a phone. Now, which one did you buy?
I've got the S25 Plus. And
why?
The reason why is it's kind of slightly bigger than the iPhone Pro that I have.
Okay.
It's in fact very similar size to the iPhone Pro Max.
Okay.
Right?
So if you're watching at home, he's got it in his hands.
Yeah, I've got it in my hands. So this is an iPhone 15 Pro. So it's slightly bigger. It's almost the same size as the Pro Max version of the iPhone. Now this is the 25S.
The 25 is actually thinner. Is it thinner?
S25 Plus. It is thinner.
Okay.
And the Ultra, which it's just a little bit too big. The S25 Ultra, I think. But this is a 6.7 inch.
So no stylus.
No stylus.
Okay.
It only has the 3 optical cameras.
So it doesn't have the moon.
Yeah,
the pervert cam.
No, I don't need that.
Yeah, you don't need to be a pervert.
I don't need
Uncle Winston does not need to be a perverted guy looking 30x across at you. Okay.
But for camera work and photos and that, it's great. It's because it has all the different modes. Like the food mode is great. I just playing around with that, and it's got the RAW.
Okay.
Not the ProRes. ProRes is Apple. This is the RAW and the Pro RAW. Yeah. So
the photo RAW and the
So it's all good with Adobe and all that kind of stuff. And it's got a ton of features which I really like.
All right. So it's got the new vapor chamber.
Yeah, vapor chamber
latest
chip.
generation of Qualcomm 8 Gen something.
The vapor chamber for the cooling, and the chip is the Snapdragon 8 Elite.
Okay.
So in terms of spec wise, it has slightly more kind of performance apparently, right?
It's the same chip as the Ultra and the other one, right? The S25.
Yes, it's just that there has the Ultra has more terabyte storage.
Yeah. Now, how many terabytes do you have?
This is 512.
So you don't have a terabyte.
No.
Now, why didn't you go for a terabyte?
Because the terabyte is only available on the Ultra.
Okay. Well, then that answers everything. Okay. Very good.
So 512 is the kind of, I think is the maximum size you have on this phone, and the other option is 256. So might as well get the 512 because the deals were doing the same price as the 256. So might as well go for the 512.
I see.
So that's the offer.
Okay.
And I got $100 off from the voucher, and another $300 off for the trade-in, which is an iPhone 7 I traded in. An old one, lying around, doing nothing, gathering dust.
They still give you $300 for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good.
You know.
Now, the voucher is for people that actually signed up for the announcement event. You had to do it online, or you had to go to their website to sign up for it, because obviously they're going to hit you with emails and offers afterwards. Now, I'm puzzled. You bought the S25, not the Ultra, but there were actually a number of other deals, including free watches and free earbuds.
Yes.
You didn't buy them.
I didn't buy them. I'm thinking about it now. I'm thinking, should I? But they had the Buds Pro and the 3 on offer. Is that if you buy it with the phone at the same time, you can get another, I can't remember, $80 to $100 off. They can also get the, what's the other device that they have? The watch.
The watch.
Which was apparently another, like maybe a couple $100 off if you buy it with the package with the phone together and on the same day. I didn't go for it.
Because when I bought my phone, the Z Flip 6. Not only was the phone a good deal with the trade-in offer of my previous Z Flip 4, but they gave me a ridiculous price on the watch. They gave me free earbuds. And when I got all 3 of them together, they gave me an additional discount on the package.
Yeah.
So so basically I paid for the phone and with the trade-in and got all this extra stuff free. Are you saying that you did not get that?
I didn't get the other devices, the watch or the buds, because I didn't need it, but I can see where people might want to go for it, because then some people may flip it and stuff like that. But
I saw a lot of them after the event. on Marketplace, yes, there were many of them.
But I'm using for music or personal stuff on the iPhone here with the AirPods and the watch. I still have the Apple Watch.
So what did you pay
at the end? Total?
Yes,
1,300.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you do realize that because when I bought everything, the discount made everything negative. Right?
Yeah, he did.
So my entire package with the phone cost $900 with 0% financing over 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm paying $15 for this stuff every month.
I did get the 2-year Samsung Care Plus.
Did they give you half price on it?
Half price on that.
Okay, that's a good deal.
And also I got the glass protector, which is like $20 off. So in total, it would have cost me, because this is the 512 version.
Yeah,
it would have cost me in Canadian dollars now $1,670, almost $1,700, right? I got it for just under 13, so it's about 1,280, something like that. I can't remember. So, I got about $400 off, $500 off.
Okay, well,
okay. Yeah,
you should have bought everything.
I should have bought everything, because then I would have kind of like I said, got the price of the phone literally, and you got zero finance and everything. So
because if you do that, if you enter the Galaxy ecosystem, they entice you to get everything, and they give you a very good discount on everything. Yeah. So as you bundle more, you save more, usually on Samsung offers, right? Yeah. And if you use their Samsung Shop app to buy everything, you get an additional $50 off your entire purchase.
Through the
you didn't know that?
Samsung Shop app?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I went through the website.
The first time you use the app, when you buy your phone, when you buy everything, you get an additional $50 off your purchase. The voucher gives you $100. You can stack the 2 of them together because they're 2 separate offers. And then when you buy the phone, the earbuds, the watch, and you'll see the bundles start to accumulate the discount, you'll realize very quickly that they've just given you a watch, they've given you earbuds, and they've given you an additional offer off everything in your bundle typically. Yeah. So depending on your region, this is Canada. This is how you buy a phone in Canada.
Stack everything
together. They want you in their ecosystem. This is literally the only way that they can make people that have Apple Watches and other devices like AirPods go into the Samsung ecosystem. They know this. So once they have you, it's very hard to get out. Yeah. I myself have 2 generations of earbuds, but that's okay. I keep passing them down. Right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, you can pass it down.
Yep.
Well, what I like about the whole Android ecosystem and
you didn't even trade in your watch.
I didn't.
Yeah, you should have traded in your watch at the same time, because they probably would have given you a ton of money to go into the Watch Ultra.
Probably another couple $100 or more, less.
Yeah. So I'm not doing it this year, obviously, because I've just got my phone last year. So next year, when I have it completely paid off, I'm going to be going for the Z Flip 7, whatever the heck it is.
You can probably get quite a good trade-in for that.
Oh, they were giving me over $1,000 on my phone to trade it back.
Wow.
For S25 Ultra. So the S25 Ultra top trim 1 terabyte was $2,500. I would have paid $1,400 for the phone minus $100. Could I use a different email address to sign up for the other account? Yeah, I probably could. So I get another $50 off. And if I buy another pair of buds, and I think they were sending me another coupon that gave me free buds again.
Yeah, this is the reason why I signed up for or got myself a Samsung, is because Apple don't do these deals.
They don't.
So now I'm in this ecosystem now. I'm able to, within, say, 2 years, upgrade to the next generation and trade in this for a fairly decent trade-in price.
Very cheaply.
And plus all the coupons and discounts and that. I should be able to get a brand new, top-of-the-line feature-rich phone, which has a lot of the functions I need at a much cheaper price than Apple. And remember, the functions on this phone now is literally probably 2 years in advance than the Apple stuff.
Yeah.
Literally. In terms of like camera technologies, AI stuff, it's so good, and it's all integrated. So I'm using Google. Everybody uses Gmail most of the time. I use Gmail.
Yes.
Everything's integrated.
Yep.
And shared across all the platform and everything.
And it doesn't matter which Android platform you move towards. It could be back to Pixel, back to Samsung. You still have a little bit of interoperability versus Apple, where you actually have to stay in their ecosystem. And you're finding out some issues with that right now, aren't you?
Yeah, yes. So before I'm using a lot of camera work on my iPhone, right? So I'm syncing it to iCloud.
Yep.
But you don't have iCloud on the Samsung. So I'm stuck. I should have used Google Drive.
Yes.
On the iPhone. Or the other one is the Microsoft one, which is the OneDrive.
Yeah.
Because that's also integrated in the iPhone, the OneDrive. Right?
Yeah.
And Google. So it depends on whether you have a personal account or Google or business account, because personal account, you get like 15 gig. You can buy upgrades.
Yeah.
To
I have 1 terabyte,
1 terabyte
because I have the entire Office suite. It's cheap. It's like $70 a year. And they've just integrated CoPilot into it.
Yeah.
So now you have a free, fully featured, it's equivalent to the $24 plan on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You just have to click a toggle that has Think Deeper, and that will work better. They say, rumor has it, they say they are using OpenAI's model versus their Copilot model when you go Think Deeper. So if you want to do normal queries, use the regular one. If you want to do deeper thinking, use Think Deeper. It's a toggle.
Yeah. I think I love when you say seamless. I think the Samsung now and the Android is much more seamless, to be honest with you. Because I tried it, because there's me with the iCloud service, right? I upload the photos and videos up there. Now I have to get the iCloud app on the PC or laptop.
Yes.
And the iCloud app isn't that stable.
No.
And they don't upgrade it. There's not many upgrades to get it working, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the Microsoft, everybody uses Word, Excel, integrated, right? And it's OneDrive. I put a load of videos, even like big videos, like 5 gigs, like full 20-minute like video shots of unboxings and stuff like that. And I don't even have to drag and drop anything. It's just automatically synced to OneDrive. And I go back onto my laptop PC, open the OneDrive, it's already there.
Yeah.
Like, so...
if anyone can help Uncle Winston take all his stuff out of iCloud and has a good way to do that, let him know in the comments.
I think there's another app.
There's an app out there somewhere, but I'm sure that people that have converted have already done all the homework and have a very good way to do it.
Yeah.
So are you happy with it so far?
Yeah. In terms of the video stuff is good. Photos is good as well. And I notice it's just the way it's smoother as well. It's a lot smoother.
It's that screen. It's 90 hertz or 120 hertz?
120 hertz, I think. Yep. 120 hertz. The 512 is good capacity as well. I can then use the USB port to connect up to the external drive
and charge it anywhere.
And charge it anywhere. External drive is also for recording. So if I'm recording like big files, raw, whatever, then I can use the USB external drive. Storage to record directly on there.
And would you recommend people buy that with the watch and everything at the same time?
I would. I mean, look for deals like that. I mean, sign up to all the Samsung newsletters or email lists, because you can get coupons. I got $100 off. It's like, it's just bring up this email. Like, oh, yeah, copy this code, get $100 off. Why not? I mean, come on.
At the next event, not immediately.
Yeah. So the next event will probably be around summertime. What was it last time?
I think it's August.
Yeah, and they have the
July or August.
New foldable ones, right?
Will I get a new foldable? It depends, right? Because the reason why I got the 6 is because they finally added the vapor chamber, and they added the new processor, and they said that it would increase performance and also increase battery life, which are 2 things that I found seriously lacking in the 4 and the 3. So the reason why I went from the 3 to the 4 was battery life. And the 6 was not, the 5 was not enough of an upgrade. It just had a bigger back screen.
The iPhone 16 and the 15 has 3,800 or something like that, 3,800. It's not that great. It dies within a day or less.
So how's the battery life in this?
This one has 4,900 milliamps.
Okay, so all day battery life?
Literally all day, and it can last me till probably next afternoon.
Okay.
Lunch time.
Look at that.
For one charge. And look at this. I've literally on the same time, right? I took off the phone from the charger this morning. I'm down to 88% here on the iPhone.
Yeah.
And it's 97.
Well, there you go.
The Samsung.
Yeah, a fresh new phone. And the battery that you have in your phone is actually an aftermarket one, isn't it?
Oh, really? Oh, for this one?
Yeah.
This one, no, it's the original one. I changed it back to the original one.
Oh, okay,
and then I upgraded it. That was like a year ago. So yeah, it's the original phone battery on this one.
Okay.
So the original battery, it is smaller. So it's like 1,000 milliamps smaller. So if you're using a lot of video work, it will just suck up all that battery on the iPhone. If you're using video, photos, stuff like that. Whereas I can still use a whole day's worth on this.
So for anyone upgrading from the S24, probably don't do it.
Yeah. Literally, there's only like minor changes on there. But if you're on the S23 or previous models, yeah, I think
stay where you are.
You should upgrade if you have
every 2 cycles.
Every 2 cycles, yeah. So literally every 2 years, I would say every 2 years, because the changes on the phone, especially smartphone, changes so quickly. Every 2 years would be the kind of date that you want.
Okay, we got awesome. So buy it if you can. If you have an S23, probably S22 or any flip that's 3 or 4, and you don't want to do flip anymore. Go for it. All right. Next story is there's trouble in our
what's happened
mobile networks. Apparently, Bell Canada has been legislated into sharing their network with other providers to be able to resell services on their rollout of their fiber network.
Okay, so they own their own kind of network.
They're rolling out a fiber network across Canada,
right?
And legislation in place to actually have other players play on their network.
Okay.
To actually use their infrastructure to sell services like MVNOs.
So they're reselling their service.
Yeah, on their own network.
Okay.
So Bell is pushing back saying, hey, you know what? If we have to build this out and spend all these millions of dollars to build out a fiber network, we don't want to share it. We want to be able to do what we want on it. But that sounds good and everything. But as long as the fiber and the network stay dark and unutilized, another part of that thinking is that if it's dark and unutilized, you're actually losing money. So by having the entire network loaded and 100% capacity means Bell's actually making money. Do you buy that argument? Yeah,
I mean, if I own a network and the pricing strategy is their own, if you're actually targeting a certain price, then people might not go for it because there's maybe different features, or maybe it's more expensive or less expensive. But you're selling it to another provider, the service, or
you're wholesaling it to someone else. Yep.
So you're making money anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So what's the deal?
I think the deal is that for them, they're not making enough direct revenue.
From customers, public, consumers.
I think that's more of a you problem than a them problem, because if your service and your offerings suck, then of course they're going to go to everyone else, because clearly your product differentiation, the quality of your product is not good enough. So they're saying, well, hold on, we're going to pull back now. We're not actually going to do the capital expenditure that we promised that we would do, promised to our shareholders, and we're not going to make any money on it. Does that make any sense to anyone?
They're shooting themselves in the foot there.
They're kind of shooting themselves on the foot, because when you build this out, it's to fund your future business, right? And as long as everyone wants to jump on your network and utilize it 100%, you are making money. You are making money, and you don't even have to put customer service towards those customers. You don't have to service those customers. You just have to make sure the network is running, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I think there are other businesses, the infrastructure side, where you have to send engineers to fix up certain things, and that's probably where the most expensive or most the most costly expenditure is. is
Yeah.
when you
But
have
then
to
you
maintain
can
the.
you can still include it into the lease prices for all of the wholesalers, right?
Mm.
The wholesalers still get to do what they want. You still get to sell your services, but does your service really suck that bad in the eye of the customer that you are that afraid that you won't be able to maintain a market share in your own network?
But
Something's up.
Isn't Bell a U.S. company though?
Bell used to be US,
Used to
but
be.
Bell Canada is Bell Canada.
All right, so
Canada Bell. BCE.
all right, so it's its own entity within Canada.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a Canadian-owned entity, right?
Okay,
So that's why they sponsor our Olympians. That's why they are part of. They do a lot of good work in that respect, and then also a lot of negative work because they let go a lot of their. They let go a lot of their employees during a culling because that increases share price. As unfortunately,
Yeah.
and they also have this thing, this mental health movement called Bell Let's Talk. So all these people are struggling, and yet they tone deafly continue to promote this Bell Let's Talk thing about mental health. Right? When you fire someone from their job, that increases the mental health crisis, does it not?
Of course it is.
It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
So I think this is very nearsighted.
So we're talking about fiber network now, not mobile, right? Or the
Fiber network is necessary to build out all the towers and everything. So
All
this
right.
network goes across Canada.
Okay, so who are the major players? You got Bell,
TELUS, and Rogers,
TELUS, and Rogers.
the big three.
These are the big three.
Yep.
And where no matter where you are in Canada, these three players are everywhere.
They're everywhere with the exception of Videotron or one of the other players, Manitoba and not Quebec. There are two other players, but they're small and they have a territory that they live in.
Right.
So when they cross into this territory, they have to cooperate.
Do the
roaming, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
So with these ones, so there's three big, and then you have a ton of
MVNOs.
MVNOs.
Yeah,
okay.
resellers, they would call them, right? So Lucky Mobile, Mint Mobile is not in Canada, but that's an example of an MVNO. They run off,
Right.
I think, Verizon or
Mint is or used to be
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, he's probably still a minor shareholder in that because he still does the ads,
Okay.
right? So as long as you have 100% network utilization based on your capital expenditure, you should be able to turn a profit. If you can't turn a profit by even just being a infrastructure provider, something's really wrong.
So
something's
these
really wrong.
MVNOs are hooked on to these three major players.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Okay.
Yeah, or they're sharing infrastructure based on where they TELUS builds out everything in BC.
Yeah.
And Alberta. That's their territory. So when Bell customers come here, they are utilizing our infrastructure. When we go further east, we are likely running into either Rogers or Bell infrastructure, right? So everyone has a piece to play, but Bell has the largest network in Canada, and the legislation is saying that they want Bell to allow everyone to jump on at wholesale rates.
Okay.
All right, reasonable wholesale rates, right? I think that's fine. I think that they're just being. I think they're trying to protect their brand, but their brand, you have to understand that people's impression of you matters. It doesn't matter if you're the only sole provider, right? If you suck, everyone's going to go around you, right? And if you have more choice on your network with different flanker brands like Freedom Mobile, for example, like a Public Mobile, which is actually a TELUS reseller, Kudo, which is also a brand of TELUS, right? Having this differentiation gets more people on your network, utilizing your network capacity to its 100%, right? So as long as you have wholesale going out, that means your network is making money. And I can't understand why you wouldn't continue to make the capital expenditure to make more money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very, very short-sighted, I feel.
I mean, we have similar kind of MVNOs and other resellers in Hong Kong and
Hong Kong
and
and the UK have like O2 and like 10 other different sellers, right?
Like loads there.
Right? And the who owns that network?
O2, I think it's British Telecom.
Yeah, so BT owns everything, but all of these networks are utilizing that network to 100%.
Oh yeah, loads.
Right?
There's a ton
That's
of
where the
players.
money's being made, right? The fact that BT offers their own own phone services, does that even matter to anyone?
They have their own.
They have their own, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. they deal with probably enterprise and corporate customers. And that's
True.
okay, right?
Or like a lot of the landlines are still BT,
Yep.
so they integrate into one bill both the fiber, internet, and
Right.
telecom services into one. So why do you need another mobile player or another bill for another thing? So
I think they're getting their knickers in a knot over the fact that people don't no longer want a Bell bill with Bell's phone, TV, mobile, and internet service, right?
you have that in here. TELUS mobile, TELUS home, TELUS internet, TELUS
TELUS
TV.
health, TELUS pets, TELUS security.
Okay.
You know, like TELUS seems to do a much better job of making you actually. I'm a shareholder of both TELUS and Bell. So I'm quite disappointed in Bell not actually building out my network and actually taking in customers, right?
Oh, yeah,
From a shareholder perspective, I understand that the capital expenditure is going to cost me money, but you're tanking my share price, buddy.
Yeah, I looked at my my friend's TELUS bill, and she has like TV and some of the specialist TV channels, like you know, from Chinese and Hong Kong, stuff like that.
Yeah,
all integrated into this whole package, right? And her bill was like $200+ a month.
Yeah,
it's like what?
But you know what's more telling is the fact that even though I'm a Bell shareholder, even though I'm a TELUS shareholder, I still have more services with TELUS because they don't suck.
Yeah, there's a lot more services available on offer with TELUS. Yeah.
Right, TELUS. I even though I don't directly subscribe to TELUS service, I subscribe to Public Mobile. Who is Public Mobile? Public Mobile is owned by, guess who? TELUS, right?
Yeah.
So, and even Bell doesn't have a flanker brand that I find attractive for any of those services, right? That's got to tell you something, right? So Bell being a whiny little, you know, like person, this is not the way. You need to continue to build out the CapEx so that we can actually make profit on the rest of it. The fact that people like your network enough to run on it is actually a really good thing. So if another MVNO makes a ton of money off of that network, that's fine. You're still funding the capital expenditure, right?
Yeah.
You're still funding it. And if you make 100% utilization of that network is happening, hey, shareholders are happy. We're making money. As long as we're making money, all good, right? The fact that you don't have enough good branding on your own network to attract even your own shareholders back to you. Like I'm on TELUS. I have TELUS shares. I'm still on TELUS internet. I have Public Mobile, which is also TELUS. I don't have any television services or phone services at home because obviously that's not what we do anymore. But you know, if you offered me a really great, you know, like Bell internet service with 2.5 gig up and down, I would be happy to take a look at it.
There's me thinking 1 gig is that's good speed. We're on like almost 2 gigs now, right?
I can't even have a coffee to upload my YouTube video now.
You know, there are certain places, not so. I want to say, I don't know. I mean, most of Europe, for example, and UK, we don't get as much as 2 gigs.
No.
Hong Kong and China, certain parts of China, Japan definitely, and Korea, they have already on 2.5 gigs.
Yeah, actually,
internet,
this is the slow service. So I didn't get the maximum.
I'm only on 1 gig, and I find it plenty. And then there's other countries elsewhere getting like 512, or maybe 256, and they're like, oh, really happy with it, but still.
Yeah, this is not the fastest package. I actually have the second fastest package. There's a package above this. It goes like 3.5 to 5, I think. But depending on the market that you're on, see, at least TELUS is doing something, right? I don't see Bell doing something. They seem very stingy with their network and not giving these packages, making them available to people. And I think that you guys need to rethink your strategy there. If you can't provide the service that they need, let the other flankers come in and show you the way. Maybe you're lacking that. Maybe you can learn something from them, right? And then that way, when you relaunch Bell services for mobile, you'll have some ideas of what people on your network like. It's like having, like, I know, like there's probably some rules against this, but even if you see all the network traffic and where people are actually using these services, you can do your own market research and say that, you know what? people don't actually like our services. They go to everyone else, but now we have the answer why. We just need to be humble enough to accept that and actually provide a service that they want.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe we should do that instead. Maybe that's why my share price is tanking so much. Because you're down 20%. Guys, you're down 20%. Wake up.
Yeah, they need to do something, maybe. I mean,
okay, enough about that. Already did the disclosure. I am both a Bell and a Telus customer. No, I'm not a Bell customer. I'm a shareholder of both. And I'm very mad at Bell right now. But anyhow, let's move on. So the future of the smartphone is in turmoil.
Why is that?
Because back in 2023, OpenAI, Sam Altman, had a conversation with a certain designer, someone that is into aluminium and finishes and thinness and lightness. Aluminium.
Yes.
You know his name. His name is Jony Ive. And he was one of the first people to reinvent the smartphone. Because when Steve Jobs asked Jony Ive to reinvent this thing, the slab that plays music, does internet browsing, and is a phone too, the iPhone was born.
Yes.
And because of the addictive nature of the device, and Jony Ive had a feeling and knew that this might be the way forward, he is about to help Sam Altman create the next addictive device in some shape or form. And they don't quite know what it is, but we have some clues. So Sam Altman and OpenAI want to build a device that utilizes the power of AI, chips, hardware, and everything to optimize the AI experience. Because right now, when you use AI on a smartphone, it's sometimes laggy, slow, and may not exactly know everything that you want to ask of it. It needs to be more anticipatory. It needs to be more of a companion.
It's software, isn't it? Right now,
it's software now. It's not optimized hardware, so there's always a lag, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
So what they want to do is because you remember the R1 Rabbit and the humane pin. The R1 Rabbit, obviously, it was a piece of hardware with a Android operating system and some sort of a software inside, right? That fell off. It was cheap. Everyone liked it, but it was not right. The humane pin was more like the Star Trek insignia badge, where you tapped it and you asked it things. It's a communicator, right?
Yeah.
But it suffered from extremely poor battery life. It was really heavy, so if you had it on your pocket, it would fold the pocket down. It wasn't wearable, right? So, and you had to use your voice, and the thing would get hot, so hot that you couldn't wear it anymore. Right. So that hardware was not optimized for voice. It did not have a keyboard or interface that you can actually alternatively not talk, because you sometimes don't want to tell them that I have an itchy bum thing and I need to see the doctor. Can you make an appointment for my itchy bum doctor? You don't want to say that in the elevator, right? These are not things you want to talk about, right?
Okay.
And you don't want to talk about that. So you need some privacy, right? So Jony Ive and Sam Altman are working on the hardware and the device. And because humane AI was also, I think they were somewhat, they're connected to OpenAI. Now, I think that was through a purchase or acquisition. They are trying to reinvent the way, the device, whatever it is.
So basically, I think it's going to be more of a wearable, to be honest with you.
I can see that, yep.
And also with Jony Ive, he's just a designer. He's not a hardware manufacturer, right? So he could design a concept, he could design what it looks visually and stuff like that. Then it's all down to the hardware manufacturer. So who's going to be the hardware manufacturer?
Don't know.
Do you think? You don't know.
Don't know.
So Foxconn?
Yeah. Could be anyone.
Foxconn?
It's probably Foxconn.
Yeah, because they make the iPhones before, so they must have the manufacturing production lines to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
but
then,
keep in mind, though, OpenAI is partially shareholder is Microsoft.
Okay.
Right. So whoever does the Surface devices may be the
the Xbox's stuff. Maybe
the Xbox team does a very good job, right? I mean, whoever's doing all of that hardware design and everything may be responsible for this new device, possibly, right? But Jony Ive can pick from anyone, right? He can work with anybody.
True. A wearable. I think it's going to be a wearable.
So would it be like a Apple Watch?
It'd be like I reckon it'd be a glove. I reckon it'd be a glove style kind of device.
Like a power glove, like from Nintendo? No, I don't think so. No one wants to wear a glove. Most people barely want to wear a watch.
It'd be a wrist. I think it'd be a wrist device.
Possibly.
Because you're going to be able to type on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow.
But that's, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's very, will it be a phone? Will it be a phone with a wearable component? Will they work together? Because there's a lot of ways to interpret this. Mm-hmm. It could be just optimized SoC, optimized device with better microphones. Mm. It could be anything really, but they want to make a AI first device. So whatever your imagination out there, it could be really anything. But we know that the R1 Rabbit, it did not work. Was it novel at the time? Was it fun? Yeah, maybe seeing a rabbit saying, "Oh, what's going on?" Let me think about that. Could it be something like that?
I was going to say a neck collar, but then that's a bit
like a. You know what? No, like people don't want to wear stuff around their neck.
Yeah, it's
right?
It's a bit.
It's a bit. Like a phone. You pull it out of your pocket. It needs to be something along those lines. Yeah. Something that is easy to take with you. Something that can be with you that replaces your smartphone. So right now, the only thing that I can think of that can replace your smartphone that isn't lost often is either it's going to be a bud style device or it's going to be a smartphone or both.
Yeah. If it's going to be another goggle device,
no one wears those.
Yeah.
Like even Apple recently said that they were working on another device, and then they kind of said no. They did, like, it was a smaller version of the Vision OS, Vision goggles, and they said no.
You know, you heard of that? You heard of that D brand case manufacturer, right? Yep. They made cases.
They made a case for the Vision OS. So ugly, so ugly. It adds weight.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like it's not just that. It's a battery pack as well. You made one for the goggles and the battery pack.
Oh god,
it just looks a bit weird.
So not a lot of people bought those, and they have just turf plans to make a more consumerish version that's lighter and everything. So Vision OS, that type of system is we don't know what the future is. And because Jony Ive is involved in this, and because OpenAI is involved in this, and because Apple still relies on Apple Intelligence, which is not really AI at all, really.
No.
It's not truly, like Apple might be Apple might be afraid of this unless they do something.
I noticed though recently, Siri has become a little bit more active on here.
More active?
Yeah.
Or more useful?
No, not
they're two different things.
Yeah, they're not useful. Active. It seems to be like every time I do like a quick search thing, I think this Siri thing option comes up.
Okay.
So whereas before it didn't.
Okay.
This is with the latest iOS update. Okay. Right? Whereas in terms of AI, I think the Samsung has more
Gemini.
It's got the Gemini. It's got the Galaxy AI. Yeah. It's just much more smoother, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's more integrated in the OS because Google said that they were doing AI and that AI would be part of it. Apple says it's AI, Apple Intelligence, whatever that means.
It's not really fully AI.
So they're not fully embraced into that.
It gives me a choice. In fact, it gives me a choice. Apple Intelligence, right?
Yeah.
But then it says you can use ChatGPT instead.
So it's which model is it using? I don't know.
It's basically it uses ChatGPT for the iPhone.
When Siri can't figure stuff out, it goes to ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's basically the end of the show, and we don't know what this is going to look like. This device, this hardware, this partnership with Jony Ive. I mean, Jony Ive, to his credit, builds a lot of things that people really want to own, but we don't know what this is. And is it going to be a new phone? Is it going to be a phone that is something that we've never seen before? Is it going to be a phone that integrates with some sort of touch mechanism so that we can better experience the world? Could it be like a phone with earbuds, like better earbuds, or like something that you wear, like you were saying, like some sort of wearable, right?
Yeah.
Is it a ring even, right? Could it be like that? Because if you put a ring on, it's like, but then we have battery life issues, and then we have another device that we have to charge. maybe it is a phone. Maybe it is a type of phone that we've never seen before. And maybe it's just so good at AI that we will not want to go back to our conventional phones.
Yeah.
It's all up in the air. So we're going to leave you with that idea in your head. And if you have any ideas about what that could be, please leave the comments below. We would love to see your comments. Until next time, Winston and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay. Bye.